his CIA fuck ups, right? Because he put Saddam in power and he put Bin Laden in power. And they always under the impression that if they put you in power, they can take you out. So that's the position on that. So um, I don't have no more books I'm gonna refer y'all to, but do a comparative analysis on the photographs of Karl Marx and Frederick Douglass, and a comparative analysis of Vladimir Lenin and W.E.B. Du Bois, or Du Bois, whichever one you want to pronounce. And that'd be enough study material to get y'all through a couple of months if you really wanted to get into it, like I was. So with that, I'm gonna cut this one off here, fam. Keep up the good work. We on our way up out this bitch. It's coming. We just don't know the day or the hour, but it's coming. March 16, Blue Out Wednesday. Post hashtag Free Larry Hoover. Blue Heart Backgrounds. Nipsey Blue. That's a West Coast Midwest knock to a knockback on a turnaround off of a false arrest to a liberation of the leaders. So let's get it, people.
Yep. So, everybody talked about COINTELPRO. So I'm gonna have to give y'all the the version of the history. The COINTELPRO is tied to the Rex 84 initiative, what we call it the Lord Alfred Plan. The Lord Alfred Plan is called the Garden Plot, and the Garden Plot was the plan to undermine the organic people of the land. You can look all this shit up. You, you can look up COINTELPRO. You can get their mission statement. You can look up the Garden Plot. You can look up Rex 84, which is Ready Exercise 1984, which was predicated upon the book by George Orwell, 1984. Also in the same document, it's a subsection called Operation Cable Cutter, which would entail them cutting us off from the people that's going to be migrating to the Americas from the South in large numbers to aid in the recovery of the land by ousting the imposters, right? So that's called Operation Cable Cutter, which is a subsection of Rex 84. And the Rex 84 is the government's program written by Oliver North for George Bush and in the Bush cabinet in 1980. It was when they first started putting it together, right after the Iran hostage crisis, right? Garden Plot, PLOT, Garden Operation Garden Plot. The Garden Plot. Now you got to remember, Hillary Clinton's CIA code name is Evergreen, all right? The old man Bush is called the Gardener, right? So he's the one that's governing all of this bullshit that's going on as director of the CIA. Also, you have involved is his sons, which was to carry on the legacy. When you read in William Cooper's Behold the Pale Horse, there's a little part in there where he talks about King George the First of the United States of America, when in the wee hours of the night by Senate Select Committee, they elected to keep old man Bush the president for life. So until he died, no matter who you seen in office, he was still the president, according to them, right? So y'all see how serious the system is from stopping us. Y'all see these dirty Moors come on here and they talk shit in the comments and they report us so that our pages get blocked. And we thinking that it's the algorithm. It's not the algorithm. It's these niggas. It's these rotten ass, low down, dirty, snake in the grass ass niggas. When monkey see snake, monkey don't move, monkey bop snake upside the fucking head. So this is what's going on. It ain't no algorithms reporting us. It's whole niggas that want to keep us in bondage so they can go along and get along and be some comfortable ass slaves, right? So all these comfortable ass slaves about to be uncomfortable ass slaves when this shit flip, because it's gonna flip. We gonna put these matriarchy back together. We gonna restore the land back to the original people. And all you motherfuckers that wanna report motherfuckers, wanna heckle motherfuckers and they motherfucking shit for telling on you motherfuckers to the people that you fucking over. We know what the fuck y'all doing. This shit ain't no secret. Y'all tactics is old, stale, worn out, and I see through that bullshit from the A to Z and Z to A. No matter how you flip this motherfucker, monkey gonna see this shit and monkey gonna bop you motherfuckers upside the head. Y'all gonna get y'all due, but first we gotta push this free Larry Hoover agenda. I ain't got done cutting loose on you motherfuckers yet, right? So, since I got somebody asking to come in. Let me see who it is. How that COINTELPRO shit? Come on in here and talk to me. Did you write this shit definitely over? They definitely don't want us talking, but we talking, and I'm not shutting the fuck up till we see Larry Hoover. I just got to figure out different ways to approach the problem to wake up the most amount of people as possible. Honey Badger, what's going on?
I'm just tuning in because I really want Christina said the police was just at her left her house. So I was jumping in like trying to bogart, like figure out what that was about. But I think I know whoever was on here messing it up. So see if you can I don't want you to play the video again, but at least I know who has been doing shit because I've been watching them for the last 2 lives. So it seems to be going pretty good. That's all I wanted to say. I just want to check in on High Priestess, but that's all I wanted to say. And if you talk about King George, remember there's 2. Because I
The what?
There's 2 King Georges. I could take you and show you the other one nobody know about.
Right. So the 2 King Georges is instrumental. Because just like it started off with 2 King Georges in the Declaration of Independence and the institution of the Bar Association, it has to end with 2 King Georges, which is Herbert Walker Bush and George W. Bush. Has to them the last one. So they trying to use the mirror flip, and the 9/11 was called a Gemini event. The Gemini event was to bring down the Twin Towers. The problem is they didn't have no answer for tower number 7. It just failed. That doesn't make sense, which made people start asking questions. And when people start asking questions, then they start seeing the whole 9/11.
Christina, see me do a request. I just want to get the vibe since, we're going to set this live off right.
Yeah,
all the fire. Keep going with the King George and the mirror because that's what I've been trying to tag you. Like, I've been seeing they mirroring all of our shit. That's
right. So you ever hear in order to know the future, you have to understand the past? It's a mathematical equation that they use in the lodges, and they perform events that brings the mathematical equation into where they know what to do. So they gave us 3 knocks that they was coming to take the world over, but everybody was asleep to the dirt, the car. So let me tell you what the 3 knocks was. Once George Bush solidified his power as King George I of the United States by a Senate Select Committee, the next thing he did was sent the first notice. They 5 years apart roughly. They don't have to be exact, but general. The first one is called the bombing of the World Trade Center when they tried to blow the basement out and make it implode on itself, and it didn't work because it was put together too well. The second one was in 1995 with the federal building in Oklahoma City, right? And the reason why that building or that event took place, that's the second knock of the coming. So they attacked the state building to let you know it was a state attack. And the attack was on the state. It was the state of the people. And Oklahoma is called the Heartland. All of that is what you call Middle America is called the Heartland.
You gotta go back to 9/11 though, and what
we ain't got to 9/11 yet because that's
next. Did the Twin Towers.
No, they bombed that first in 91. You forgot?
Oh, the first
Remember
one
we
with the car bomb.
right. So that's
Biggie's
when we used to
lyrics.
say blow up like the World Trade.
Biggie's lyrics. My bad. Yeah.
Right. That's what they was talking about, the 91 bombing. Then the 95 was the federal building where they accused Timothy
Bad.
McVeigh
Yeah.
and Terry Nichols. But they not the
Okay.
one. They might have done some of it, but they ain't made no motherfucking fertilizer bomb that do that kind of damage. The size of the bomb, it would have took two 18-wheelers to do what that did. That had to have some C4 and a couple more other explosives in it. That's not just a
So they
fertilizer
was
bomb.
practicing with 9/11, the first one. The second one, it was Social Security, because they also need to get that. That's where the real, data. But like you said, and then the final one was the one in 2000, whatever.
Right. So that's the third knock. The third knock was 2001, New York City. New York is what you call the Empire City, the Empire State. Right. What is an empire?
Of the world. And it's New York. But also told you it was on King and Queen Street, which was
Okay.
the financial district where the Vault
Right.
Family Bank.
Now, most of us who done our 9/11 research know that while they were cleaning up the mess up top, they were shipping the gold out down in the tunnels. Most of us that did our 9/11 know that.
Money heist.
They found one truck they had to leave, and the truck that they left still was full of gold bars.
Where that gold come from, Rod?
That was the gold that they was holding it was from banks consolidating resources. Right? They stole the gold from us at its source. But they also found the gold in a vault from all of these so-called victims of Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich that they held in escrow with the Prescotts in World War II. That was also located. They didn't touch that shit. All of the gold that was ours that they was using to float their stock market, that's the gold they was stealing.
Around the Titanic and stuff. I had to be around some of that.
The Titanic was 1913 when the Titanic sunk.
Yeah, but that was part of their gold. I think they were shipping back and forth from England. Yeah. You got to think, whenever they seized the crown, they started looting everything.
Right, but you talking about two different time periods. We're talking about 2001.
Money, gold.
Look. Listen, we talking about 2001, the largest gold heist in the history of the world.
But some of it was still over here. I think they just
This is where it was at. This was in New York.
And the
this was under the World Trade Center.
All the time. Sorry, y'all. Y'all get to see
it. Look, so this was under the World Trade Center. While the planes were supposed to be flying in above, the trucks was leaving in the basement.
Misdirection.
Yeah. They call it overlay for the underplay. The underplay was the gold theft. The overlay was the so-called planes crashing into the buildings. Now, anybody that know a fucking bird to destroy a plane. So what the fuck a building gonna do? That building, the planes would have never penetrated those buildings. All of us now know
a whole lot more that it was controlled demolition as well. So.
Yep, definitely. Because even if the planes, when they did penetrate the building and dump all of the fuel, the fuel doesn't burn hot enough to bring the rafters down. But then you can see when you look at the pictures, the controlled demolition blast as it starts to implode the building. And the people that was on the ground, boots on the ground, said they even heard it when it was going off. It sounded like a series of firecrackers coming down from the top.
I mean, we didn't see so many damn documentaries. I went down that rabbit hole for a while and then I stopped. So
yeah, so that was the third knot on the New World Order and the Illuminati's takeover of the world. It was at the same time. Now the Constitution expired first in 99. they got a extension that lasted until 2017.
Okay.
Right. And the extension came because they hijacked government.
That is true, because I can let you know from working on the inside at that time, and I say one of the agencies, two of them, Social Security and CMS, for most of that time, towards the end of my federal service, they was a continuation of government. So that means the budgets were just continued. They didn't pass anything. They never passed anything.
Right.
They just continue shit on from
That's
whenever.
like now.
Right.
Just like now, Biden ain't doing no executive orders because there ain't nowhere to do no executive orders at.
Yep.
DC ain't even called District of Columbia no more. You pointed that out in the football game, and didn't too many people catch it. What they say that they came from the military capital in Washington. Remember?
The District of Washington. Yep. Military District of
District?
Washington is what they call
Yeah,
it.
they didn't call it the District of Columbia. They normally say Washington, D.C. They didn't say that this time.
What's somebody?
This is telling y'all that the fall of America then came. Y'all don't. Now it's the rise of the originals. If y'all gonna participate,
Hello.
this where we at with it.
That's where we at. And I told you, whoever tribe from the West Coast sent a totem all the way, and it made it to DC about in July. So it's up somewhere.
So it's definitely up. It's in the I think it's in the mall.
So
where
that
they
was
did
symbolic. If y'all
dream
didn't
seat.
catch it, we made it back to tribal land.
Right, because now I did the post about the shaman that planted the no fringe flag behind
This is
Pelosi's
deep in
desk
there. You just explain all your posts. Keep going. Yeah.
So because they declared that we crashed our landmass into their ship, then they put their Admiralty flag behind our flag to usurp the jurisdiction on the land. When they usurped the jurisdiction, they added Admiralty law as a law that overrides the law of the land.
Maritime.
The
It's almost like
flag.
water went over top of the land, which is not true.
Right. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to stake our flag where they will behind a ship, behind the bar. When you go to court, the bar is when you open the gate to go in. It's the same in the House and the Senate. When you enter to go in as a member, you entering into the bar. The bar is synonymous to the bar, the sandbar. And this is why they had to process all the birth certificates through Washington, D.C., because the birth certificates is the levies, and levy is Levi, and Levi is the one who execute the liens for the tribes of the underminers, the Jacobins. So they come in and say we crashed into their ship so they can usurp our flag. So once that we had the guy, he was obviously blessed in by some shaman off the land. Somebody that's indigenous to the land blessed him in because he did the work. When he did the work, he went in. He's also military, Marines, Special Forces.
Land.
And he's also a shaman. So he's trained by us to do our work. And so what he did was when they went into the Capitol building, he sat behind Pelosi's desk and he staked the no fringe flag that reestablishes the supreme law of the land as the law on the land. Right? So that takes the Admiralty jurisdiction out of play. Nobody argues jurisdiction in court because they can't establish it. If you ask any court you go to, if they're an Article 3 court, they're going to tell you no. And because they're not an Article 3 court, and you questioned it and they told you no, they automatically don't have jurisdiction according to the Constitution. All courts must be Article 3 certified. And Article 3 is the third
No, but
article
we know
in the
now,
Constitution.
that they've been operating as our trustees for if
Right.
administration